Hey everyone, welcome to the Melanin Report. Before we jump into today's topic, I want to make a disclaimer. This podcast, whether you are listening on Anchor, Spotify, or now YouTube, is strictly for commentary purposes. I try to be as accurate as I can and do as much research as I can, but I am not a primary source for actual news, so please keep that in mind. So, guys, I was just floored by this news. But then what did I say? Oh yeah, it's 2020. Stuff don't make sense. But YouTuber FlightReacts is expecting his first child. He recently uploaded a video to his YouTube channel and shared with everyone that he is expecting his first child with his girlfriend Janet. Flight spoke in the video about how he wanted to keep majority of his relationship with Janet a secret, which I commend him for that actually, and I think that shows a lot of growth, and I think that people can really take a lot from that. And I'm glad that he said that too, because I feel like his audience is very young. He has a very young audience, and I'm glad that he kind of put that out there, that keeping your relationship out of the public eye is sometimes a good thing, because you don't want the whole internet knowing your business. And we see a lot of times with these couples, whether it's on YouTube, reality television, we see a lot of these YouTube couples having issues because of them being in the spotlight. Like, it has an effect on their relationship. So it's good to see that, you know, with this relationship, he wanted to take things seriously, and he really like cares about Janet enough to where he's like, you know what, I'm gonna do this for real, and I'm gonna keep it off the internet. And, you know, it seems like it's working out for him. They seem happy. And, you know, in the video, they both expressed how nervous they were. But, you know, they seem excited. Flight seems really excited. People were kind of taken aback about Janet and the way that she was acting in the video. I honestly think she might have just been nervous. But I think people have their speculations, because some of the people that Flight has been with in the past, people have felt like they were kind of using him for, you know, clout, attention, and that they weren't being like serious. So I think people are just kind of looking out for Flight, like, hey, make sure like this is like legit or whatever. But I think that, you know, this relationship seems pretty real. It seems pretty solid. So, you know, I'm really happy for them. So congrats to Flight. And man, I cannot wait to see how he's gonna be as a father. So next, so Charlamagne Tha God has announced his new partnership with iHeartRadio. If you guys don't know who Charlamagne Tha God is, he is one of the popular hosts of The Breakfast Club, and he hosts a podcast called The Brilliant Idiots Podcast. He has landed a huge deal with iHeartRadio, and he is launching his own podcast network called the Black Effect Podcast Network. So Charlamagne, he said that his goal with this new podcast network was to bring together the most influential voices in Black culture for stimulating conversations around social justice, pop culture, sports, mental health, news, comedy, and more. He does plan on bringing the Breakfast Club along with him to this new network to start things off, and he's also adding 18 other podcast shows hosted by some very popular figures in the entertainment and news industry, such as Just Hilarious and Tamika Mallory. And he also said that, you know, part of his vision was to make sure that the Black women's voice is amplified and heard more across bigger audiences. And I think that this is great. I think that this is, you know, a wonderful thing, like to see more Black owned platforms and networks and businesses and companies and just all that, you know, coming to, you know, fruition. Like I think that this is, you know, great, and it is funny. It's a little funny, and I felt like this announcement was a little calculated, because we all have heard the news with Joe Budden. He has the Joe Budden podcast, and Joe had went on this long rant because basically his deal with Spotify is ending, and people had a lot to say. I guess Charlamagne was one of those people, along with some other people that Joe's cool with, and Joe felt some kind of way because he felt like they were trying to stop him from getting opportunities for Black people, and he felt like they were just kind of settling in not owning anything. And but with this announcement, with Charlamagne saying, hey, I got this partnership with iHeart and I'm starting my own network, I think is a little slap in the face to Joe, a little bit, even though he doesn't have 100% ownership over this new podcast network that he's starting. It is kind of his way of being like, listen, like you're doing things your way, I'm doing stuff my way. And yeah, it'd be interesting to see if Joe is going to respond to this. I'm sure he will, because Joe responds to everything. And I know you guys have heard about the other stuff too with Joe and all the abuse claims, but I'm not going to get into that in this episode. But if you guys want me to cover it, I will later on. But yeah, so it's interesting to see all of this news surrounding like podcasting and stuff like that. And yeah, so I'll definitely be, tuning into some of these new podcasts that are going to be popping up, because I'm all for Black owned podcasting. And yeah, so he did say that this network had actually already been in the making, because a lot of people feel like a lot of this stuff is happening because of the Black Lives Matter movement. But it's been said that this new podcast network started before all the racial tension started to rise in the country surrounding the death of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and many others. And the main goal of this network is just to provide more space for Black voices and Black culture. And yeah, congrats to Charlamagne Tha God. I'm genuinely really excited about this, and I'm interested to see all the new podcast shows that are going to come and what they're going to cover. And so last but not least, I hope this is the last time I got to talk about this fool, Tory Lanez. Tory Lanez apologizes to Megan Thee Stallion for shooting her. So now we have our confirmation, as if Megan going on Instagram Live wasn't confirmation enough for people. I will never understand why people gave Megan such a difficult time through this whole situation, and why people were trying to hold on so hard to, trying to believe Tory, or trying to see, or trying to discredit Megan's story, and making fun of her even. It's been a lot. But apparently, after all this time, Tory Lanez finally issues an apology to Megan Thee Stallion. Like I said, Tory had been accused of shooting Megan after a party. I believe this party was hosted at Kylie Jenner's place, and it was said that he had shot her in the foot. And there's been too much speculation going around about this, and people questioning her if she had actually gotten shot. And this led to her, uncovering parts of the story little by little. She told people that she did get shot. She posted a photo of her foot in stitches, and people still weren't believing it. So then she finally went on live, told everyone it was Tory. Some people accused her of snitching. Other people, just they believed her from the beginning. And then you had other people saying like, oh, there's no way that he just shot you. You must have provoked him, whatever. And she talked about in that live about how the reason why she didn't just come out and say it is because she wanted to protect him. And it's crazy that in this climate that we are in with, the police killing innocent Black people, that she didn't even trust the police enough to not end up killing Tory as well. And she didn't trust them to protect her. And so Tory Lanez did indeed reach out to Megan Thee Stallion, and he apologized to her. And he sent this text, allegedly. I know you probably never gonna talk to me again, but I genuinely want you to know I'm sorry from the bottom of my heart. And then he added, I was just too drunk. Y'all, this is just a mess. And I hope that after this, because listen, people better not ever, like, come for Megan like this again. Like, getting shot is already traumatic enough, but then dealing with the backlash of the internet for no reason. There was no reason why people should have been reacting the way that they were to Megan Thee Stallion getting shot. And it just goes to show you that black women, they aren't taken seriously and they aren't protected. But that's another topic for another podcast episode. We don't know what Megan's response was, or if she will even respond to him. She may be able to forgive him, but it seems like the public is just refusing to. And even with the small percentage of critics, most people believe Megan from the beginning. So I don't know. Do you guys think Tory Lanez will be able to recover from this? I don't think so. But you know, we've seen stranger things happen. We see people get canceled all the time, and then they come back. So I don't know. But that is all for today's episode. Make sure you guys subscribe to the YouTube channel and follow my podcast on all podcasting networks, from Anchor and Spotify, wherever you get your podcast episodes. And I will talk to you guys soon.